As the war in Ukraine nears a grim milestone of 2 years, an alarming development has arisen. North Korean weaponry has been spotted on the ground, ratcheting up concerns in an already fraught international environment. These new reports indicate that Russian forces are now deploying North Korean arms against Ukraine, which adds a fresh layer of complexity to the conflict and raises questions about international sanctions and arms control. Ukraine has been locked in a fierce struggle to defend its sovereignty since the invasion. The international community, led by Western nations, has provided varying degrees of support, with the United States at the forefront of offering military aid, including air defense systems. The country's resilience has been remarkable, but the emergence of North Korean weapons introduces a new set of challenges that could tilt the balance of power. The use of North Korean weaponry by Russian forces is significant for several reasons. First, it circumvents the web of international sanctions placed on North Korea, potentially giving Pyongyang a clandestine source of revenue that can bolster its sanctioned economy. This could further fund North Korea's own controversial missile and nuclear programs, which have been the subject of international scrutiny and concern for decades. Secondly, the deployment of such weapons in Ukraine is a sobering reminder of the global market for arms and the ways in which international conflicts can become interconnected through the proliferation of military hardware. It also underscores the difficulties in enforcing global arms embargoes, especially when dealing with nations that are willing to flout international norms. This turn of events also puts increased pressure on the United States and NATO allies. Ukraine is still awaiting the arrival of new air defense systems promised by the U.S. As the Ukrainian military contends with this new threat, the timeliness and effectiveness of Western military support come into question. It's a race against time, as each new weapon system introduced to the battlefield could mean a shift in the dynamic of the war. For policymakers and military strategists, the revelation that North Korean arms have found their way into the Ukrainian theater is a wake-up call to the persistence and adaptability of arms dealers and the nations that seek to exploit the shadows of international conflict. It's a troubling development that underscores the need for cohesive and immediate international action to stem the flow of illicit arms and to support Ukraine in its time of dire need. As the war drags on, with no end in sight, the international community is once again forced to confront the dark reality of the global arms trade and its role in perpetuating conflict. How the world responds to this latest development could have long-reaching consequences for global stability, sanctions regimes, and the future of international arms control.